Because that's what's going on in this podcast. We have this shit, but we're not gonna get up. We're just hiding it. Go ahead.
And it comes in waves, though. You know, like sometimes I forget about it when I'm
That's why
talking.
I had to interrupt you and say something.
But every single time you say something, I go.
We're about to cause a ruckus with the community.
I got beat up by a special ed.
Hold on, bitch.
Hey, tell me if this counts as bullying.
Even like in a silly goose time.
I'm pretty cool, I think. He calls me Zaddy.
Welcome to the Bad Neighbor Podcast.
More, I don't
Totally,
know. But
totally.
it's not worth doing, I think, if in the long term, if you're not like fully present.
But also, one last thing before we move on.
Yeah.
I think you got to remind yourself, because we've all been there. The stand-up is kind of boring. It's not as fun as it used to be. I used to be a janitor. I used to move furniture. I used to work on a construction site, sweeping up sheetrock. We get to do comedy. You got to remember that. Even when you're like, I got nothing out of that. It didn't really get me off. Just think, I still get to do it, though. I still get to be a comic and go on the road and tell jokes and do shit like this, where you sit down and talk in front of cameras. You got to be grateful for that.
That is a really good mindset. It's hard to have that, though, because I do feel so much shame in being a comedian.
Really? What do you mean?
Well, it's like, first of all, even just now, the fact that...
Well,
Who would you rather go on road with, Esther or Mark Normand?
I think they're both great.
I think they're both great, but I bet Esther has a lot of hot friends, too.
I feel like I'd be more like Esther because I would just want to eat food.
Would she just eat food?
Yeah, I think she's like a guy in that, like, she's just lazy, like, sleeps in, doesn't clean, like, just relaxes.
Or stop bagging on Esther, okay?
No, that's like my vibe. I'm just kind of like, I just
Right.
roll out of bed, just
Piece of shit, just...
not even being a piece of shit, just like
Out of bed every morning.
Lack of. I mean, I have a day job, but it starts whenever I want, so it's kind of like. You know. But what do you think about that clip? There's a lot to unpack in there. I wanted to show it to you because I watched it earlier and I saw it, and because I think for us, like, I don't know, for me, I don't like bombing because I'm learning how to be a comedian. I'm just 2 years into it, so when I bomb, I feel like people think that guy sucks. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm getting there. I'm trying. Like, you just saw me do bad tonight. Like, this is like, but I just need to get over that in my head. Like, stop caring if people see me bomb, because I'm okay if I bomb, but I kind of hate knowing that people saw me suck. You know? Like, do you have any of that at all, or?
When I first... I hate saying when I first started because I'm still starting.
Yeah.
But when I at a time when I used to bomb, it always used to leave a bad aftertaste, and I would like never joke around with anybody, and I'd be like, you know what?
You'd be serious.
I'm gonna go home now. You know, like I'm not gonna stay here. You know, what am I gonna stay here and have fun? That's not possible anymore. I just ate shit for 5 minutes. You know, but I've gotten to a point where I almost take pride in the bombs almost because it makes me feel good to enjoy a good bomb. I don't know how to explain this, but now after I get off a mic and I bomb, I almost like love talking about it because I'm like, that was, and I go, there you go. That's what I like to call bomb. And another thing that made me feel really, really good yesterday is that I kind of ate shit yesterday at the Sunday mic, and I got like 2 laughs and that's it. But I was being silly and goofy the whole time, you know?
You're present.
And I got off stage and I went, yeah, but I bombed. And then he went, it didn't feel like it though.
No.
I went, well, that's like one of the best compliments you can give somebody, because even though the crowd's not laughing, they're engaged. And I kept them engaged the whole time, and I was talking and things were happening, and I'm like, well, at least I can go on stage and at the lowest at an open mic entertain just the people while I'm on stage, you know, just doing just shit, you know, just a bunch of shit.
Have you experienced this type of bomb? Because there's like, I feel like there's a show bomb, and then there's the open mic bomb when you're just trying out a new joke and it doesn't work and you just feel like, oh, that wasn't funny. Like, that's a bomb, but to me that doesn't hurt as bad because I'm just trying something new, so it doesn't hurt. There's that other bomb where you're like, I've been doing these jokes that work and I know they work, and then I do them for a certain crowd and they don't like it. Have you had that?
Twice. Thankfully, very gracefully, I've left a good mark on all the shows I've been doing lately. I almost want to keep it that way, but most of the things that, a lot of the times where I've come out not on top is a lot of trial and error happening from the shows that we've been throwing. That's the most things that have been happening to me via bombing and like bad experiences, but not necessarily bad, but learning experiences have been from Bad Neighbor. Because with Bad Neighbor, I have to do new shit every single month, and believe it or not, I don't have a new 10 minutes every single month. So I'm trying out new shit every single time, seeing how I can fill that 10 minutes that you guys give me at the, or sometimes it's 15, you know. And to fill that in every time gets more difficult every single time, because I'm getting to the point where like I have an opening bit now that's like 3 minutes and I'm still adding to it, but I'm like, I can't keep saying this joke, because eventually if 60% of the crowd knows this joke, then it's going to fall flat and the rest of my set, it's going to suck shit. You know what I mean? So I got to be super careful. But with this trial and error and stuff like that, I have learned a lot, and bombing at shows it's definitely an interesting feeling. And again, I take pride in it. I'm like, fuck yeah, like that's a bomb, and I can say it out loud. Like my cousin was there and Ipri was there, and I was, thanks dude. It was like, glad you witnessed that shit show, you know. And I told you guys on the podcast how I bombed, and the two that ring a bell of show bombs is when the one you didn't go to, and then and even then I still got like an applause laugh, you know, but it was just because it was kind of a a clever story. But other than that, like, it was eating shit the whole time. The other one was when I went to the beach with you. David Ufielder had booked us.
Oh, when we did the fucking Avila Beach, when there were 6 people in that room, and
there was
like,
more than 6, but there was
there was 9 people on a Wednesday in Avila Beach.
There were 6 people on a bar. And then there was probably 8 people against the wall.
4.
No, there's more people against the wall.
Dog, I'm telling you, there was like max 12 people there with comics.
I remember it being like a corner of a stadium in there, man. It felt packed.
We were actually performing on the beach for the whales. There was a seal clapping. I have the shit.
Oh, dude, I have the shit too.
No,
wait, you were just doing that for the bit?
No, I do, but let's sit in it.
In my head, dude, I have this shit so bad, and that's the only thing I've been thinking about the whole entire time.
But okay, let's keep referring
when we
back
went to that beach. I was super loose, And I'm like, oh, there's only fucking 14 people in here. I'm come here loose as fuck. And I was just improvising. I was like, God, I gotta buy some of this merch. And I was looking at the merchandise behind me, and they were all eating it. They're eating it up. They were laughing, and I was just doing a bunch of random shit, just looking around the room, making fun of the last comics, talking about how I left the big shit in there. You know?
Oh yeah.
Remember the girl? She had said a punchline, and you flushed the toilet right as she did the punchline.
Yeah.
And it didn't do so well. So there was this girl on stage, and she went da-da, said the punchline, and then barely any laughter. And then Anthony was in the bathroom, and then right as she said the punchline, you hear.
Yeah, what you guys don't know is that I usually flush the toilet to hide the sound of me coming.
Because that's significantly louder, and we all know that. I talked about that, and then I talked about all the other comics. And the part that stung so bad for that one is if I bomb on a show, I'm not worried about myself. I'm not worried about the crowd. The only person I'm thinking of when I bomb at a show is the person who booked me. And that's the most irritating fucking part ever.
Oh, yeah.
Because the guy who booked you is like, fuck. You know, I spent $40 for this guy to just throw in a shit show in my fucking venue. This cute little bar I have, and he just wasn't taking it seriously. You know, that's the only thing I'm worried about is that I cut ties every single time I bomb.
100%. And sorry to add to that, but because we're so new in our careers, like. Yeah. We're not a professional that can just come and not do well and get booked the next year because they have that name. Mm-hmm. We're trying to get stage time on whatever show we can, and that's a lot of.
We have a Thursday show next week.
It's this week. No, I know, but I'm saying like that's one of 3 we'll have this year. That's not a lot. Like
one of 3 at the beach.
Yeah, I mean one of 3 the whole year. Think about it. Like we don't have a lot of shows on Thursdays. You know, I've had a couple this year, maybe 1 or 2, but it's just. It's like it feels like unless they're your homies and they know you're funny, they'll book you again. Yeah. But if it's a new person, they're like, man, this guy fucking sucks.
Fuck, what, this dude?
And I mean, we both ate shit at fucking Ernie Romero's room. That you had to be there comedy. I mean, we did mid.
Every single time I go to the beach, dude, it's always like I'm winning in the first half and then I just eat shit. But then again, the headliner did too. Headliner was rolling the whole first half, and then he was trying to get a joke in the last 10 minutes, and he couldn't. Yeah, that was the same experience I had.
You know he blames us for that?
Of course he does. Of course he does. every single time somebody like eats shit before I go up, I'm like, that guy. That guy ruined my set. It wasn't me, dude. I came up with some fire. He just put it out.
I always trace it back to the host. You know, I feel like honestly, because I host a lot of shows and I fuck it up. Like it's hard, dude. You get up and fucking take
I
the
blame it
openings.
on the door guy with the Saturn. That's the guy I'm mad at.
Dude, it's hard. It's hard going up, and even doing a 10, dude. Like because I honestly wouldn't even do a 10. I would just start the show, like and. I kind of like the whole it's just pitch black and then you hear the music get loud and then you're everybody put your hands together for your host. Like I like that better than fucking we're just sitting here fucking waiting 10 minutes because that just takes a long time and I think people get exhausted. But I feel like bad shows usually go back to the host.
But also sometimes the host does really good and it kind of makes all the other comics on the lineup look bad too. So
Have
no matter
you seen
what,
that?
the last show that I just watched.
What show is that?
So when you're asking me how everybody performed,
Yeah.
the host went up there, did fantastic.
Yeah.
And the middle guy did all right.
Yeah.
First guy did all right. There was a girl that killed in the middle, but then it was kind of steady throughout the whole night.
Yeah.
The headliner was rough for like the first 7 minutes and he warmed up and then he was kicking, but sometimes the host goes up there and he does so good that he kind of be like, I saw a Gotham comedy special with Norm Macdonald as the host.
Yeah.
And then every single other person on the lineup was non-memorable. Like, I don't even know who these people are. Never heard them in my life. They probably live in like West Virginia and they get spots in Florida. You know, I don't know who these people are at all. And Norm would go up there and he would just be like, just killing in the very beginning. Everybody's like, oh my God, it's Norm. And then the next comedian would go up and they'd be like this, yeah, good. Like a guy that looks like he's trying way too. That's the problem. I imagine that would be one of the problems going after Norm. Because a lot of comedians look like they're trying really hard to make you laugh. Norm doesn't look like he's trying at all to make you laugh. So all the people that went up after just like, you know, this guy's just trying too hard is what I kind of felt watching the rest of them because they're all like super happy guys. And then Norm would come back on stage and go, well, that was fun. And then he would tell his jokes and it would kill harder than any of the guys' jokes he just said. It's like, damn, dude. So being a host, there's so many different ways you could reflect it terribly. I almost want to say the host not even being a comedian helps sometimes because I've seen shows where the host goes up there and he goes, "Oh, thank you for coming to the venue. Thanks, everybody. Let me invite a comedian up on the stage." And then you go up there and do your job, and then the host comes back. And
Because what I heard someone explain that a host of a show is almost like the host of a party. It's like we're just here to tell everyone the rules, get everyone set up, get squared away, and then the rest of the comedy is gonna come. You know, so that's why it's like almost less is more. Just go up, get everyone warmed up. This is what comedy is. I'm gonna maybe do a little bit of crowd work, whatever. But we're really just getting you guys just in motion.
yeah,
For the first guy or first comic to come up and do their work. You know, so
it's definitely because I've done it the least. But I think hosting has got to be, besides headlining, one of the hardest positions to learn and craft and do and nail.
I feel so fake doing it because
I've opened, middle, upper middle, I've featured before, and all of those are like, oh, it's just more time. You got to, you know, listen to what you got to read the crowd and stuff like that. But when you're hosting, God, the only times I've done good hosting, and it's always in the second half. You know what I mean? It takes like fucking an hour to warm them up, and then I got them kicking at the end of a mic or something like that.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Because damn, to get them right off the bat hosting is fucking right now impossible. I cannot do it, and I haven't done it yet. I've seen Daniel do it like 3 times. I've seen him host
honestly,
over 100
dude,
times.
I've done it once or twice. Where I had,
Yeah.
where I could say I had a great host set, and I'm like, all right, they're fucking ready, dude.
Yeah, and you got him the whole time.
And that's once or twice. I host an open mic now. I host shows, and that's very. I mean, I think that's separate from Bad Neighbor because I think me and Marcos is like because we just do a lot of crowd work and improv, so that's just its own energy and entity on its own. But me as a stand up on my own, it's hard to create because for me, I'm not that guy to be like, hey, what's up? Let's do. I'm not that guy. I'm not the, I'm very just low key. So I feel like I'm being fake every time.
Mhm.
Maybe I should use that energy when I'm trying to host, being like more low key and like But
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I mean, it's hard. It's hard because I've
Just take
done.
risks, I don't know.
Sometimes when I go up there like you, sometimes I'm like, I don't want to be cheerful right now. You know, I feel like I can just play it cool and be funny, and then you play it cool and you're like, God, I could. I wish I would have just been more energy. You know.
Yeah.
And then that's also the problem. We're still trying to figure out how to make people laugh and what's our kind of style. You know.
Do you feel like you're getting better? I just played a clip before we started recording. I played a 15-second clip of maybe like the 7th time I did stand up at an open mic in LA, and I just hear how in my voice how scared I sound, how like I don't know where the joke is, how I'm kind of, and I'm like, dude, I'm glad I'm not. I can't wait to see where I am in 2 years, you know. But I definitely see the growth. I want to grow more. I need to grow more. I want to write more material, but. Do you feel? Have you listened to like your old comedy? Do you hear like
something interesting actually happened recently?
What?
And the answer is yes, but in ways that, and some things got worse and some things got better. When I first started comedy, I was playing basketball for Bakersfield College, and my only off time was writing. That was my only off time because I didn't have any friends. I didn't have bad neighbor. I was in Bakersfield all by myself. The only person I get to talk to was my fucking aunt. So the second we'd get back from practice and it was the weekend or something, or I got all my homework done, oh shit, now I got 7 hours to burn and I have fucking nothing to do. And I'm not one for to like just keep, I couldn't really play video games because I didn't have like Wi-Fi or anything like that. And I was just like, all right, what am I going to do, you know? And when I first started comedy, which was when I first started writing comedy, it was 2 years ago. And it was when I started going to Tumblr, and I would just write 7 hours a day. Just everything super fucking sharp. I would go word by word. I'd write, in the fucking line. I'd write shake head. I'd write that into the set. You know what I mean? Or like that. Or
I have to shit. We're waiting though.
I have to shit so bad.
And we keep eating this, so it's just not helping.
I have to shit so bad.
No, that's a shit. Because that's what's going on in this podcast. We have to shit, but we're not gonna get up. We're just hiding it. Go ahead.
And it comes in waves, though. You know, like sometimes I forget about it when I'm
That's why
talking.
I had to interrupt you and say something.
But every single time you say something, I go. Because then the turd is reminded too, and the turd's like, "Wait, hold on, let's make a little bit more leeway," and then I just feel it right here, dude, and it hurts.
Finish the story.
So I was writing 7 hours a day. I want to say it wasn't a year ago, but I want to say 8 months ago, you guys made fun of me every single day. And you're like, just write on stage. You clearly do everything off the script and we can tell. So you're not off the cuff at all. You're not natural at all. And then from there, I was like, all right, I'm done. Like writing too much is obviously too hard for me. And I have to figure out how to write on stage. The last 9 bits I've made have been written on stage. Just trying new shit every time I go up on stage. I go, that part's not funny. I'm just going to see what happens when I get on stage. And then I would write it on stage. Quite frankly, it works. And it definitely does make me funnier. But as far as like a joke construct, it's not as good, you know? And I just started writing the second the season was... the second I finished school, I've been writing like crazy. And I've been seeing it. Like instantly. Like I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, 100%.
And when I have a new crowd, I'm like, holy shit, I just rocked them. Holy shit, I just rocked them. Holy shit, I just rocked them. And they're hitting every single joke. You know, maybe not to my standard, but every joke is being hit because I'm tuning everything, but all the fines. And I watched the clip from like 3-4 months in. 4 months in. And I was like, holy fucking shit.
What did you see? Can we play that?
I don't.
I'll find a clip of mine and then we'll play it. I don't know.
No, it's the opposite of yours, dude.
Oh, yours is really good?
That guy's a fucking monster.
Oh, he's a killer.
Dude, when I was like 5 months in,
yeah.
I was killing, and I'm like, why? I didn't really perceive it because we'd have to the Thursday mics that would have like 75, 80 people, 90 people, and some nights I would just be on one, and I had all those jokes about coming on my classmates' faces, online school, and stuff like that. And dude, I would just be like, and then I'd laugh and look at the camera and be all cocky and stuff like that. And I'm like, holy shit. And I'm like, that guy is a fucking monster. But I was super, you could tell I was tight. I was super tight. not as loose as I am now. So if I can get that guy back now at the stage I'm at now that I'm more loosey goosey, and whenever when I get off stage, bomb or kill, I almost never feel anything.
Okay. This is very important because I feel like I've given people terrible advice because I was one of those people who was like, you're so robotic up there. You're just like, just doing your jokes, which probably would have been great at another scene, in another scene in like LA or New York. I think that's like what they want, or San Francisco, what they're expecting. Just go do your material that you wrote and that's it. But here in Bakersfield specifically, I feel like the way is to just be present and to try to do crowd work, a little bit of that, but not everyone does it well, and not everyone can do it. And I think the misconception is that people are doing it so they want to do it, but more people need to be writing 7 hours a day.
Yeah.
I think you have the gift that is being able to be naturally funny. So I think I'm going to stop telling people to be like
Be more in the moment, dude.
Because I'm the guy that told Stevie to be natural and get stage presence, and he took that as I'm never gonna write a joke.
Yeah.
But it's like now I realize I'm like, okay, I gotta not say that to everyone, and that's not what I mean.
Yeah.
Because I know exactly what you're talking. I write 3 hours a week now, and it's not every time that I go up. And I feel it when I go up and I haven't written. I feel it. And that's when you try to go up and just kind of remember what you have.
Because your jokes feel super dull.
Exactly. They don't, because you haven't reinvigorated them. You haven't added anything new. You haven't thought about them again. It's just like the last time you went on stage, So, and it's just, it's a poor way to be stand-up. And I think that's kind of represented in the Central Valley as people don't write. They just go on stage and do it. That's why over the past 6 months, I've started writing more and more. And
I just realized that Tur's finding more alternatives right now.
I just burped. No. There's definitely gas, except like it's just like like
like
inside,
a volcano.
Yeah, no, just like the factories erupting and like there's you just hear gas like.
Like you're on a Universal ride, you know what I mean? They have all those fake little.
The pistons on a fucking on the Goliath when you're going up.
Yeah. Or in the horror movies when they're in a basement and the pipe goes.
Yeah. And some gas that you can see colorized, like for certain, like you can see this
just
like
randomly some
white steam.
Some of the pores on your body are just.
No, dude, I think there's got to be a fine line of writing and going up.
Yeah.
Being present. But I think that's what that clip was about. It's like, that's what being present is.
Yeah.
Is not going up and just doing your material, just breaking from the roboticness of something and acknowledging something in the room,
Every single time I go out of town, it's the best feeling in the world because when I go out of town, I have 20 minutes of fresh material they've never even heard before, So I go, what do I want to, and I miss this feeling. What am I going to do tonight, Because usually you don't have the option. You're going to fucking write some new shit because you're performing in front of 5 comics. But when you go out of town, like I am tomorrow, dude, it's like, oh, fuck, this feels good. Because you have like, you're performing a 5-minute set. You have 5 minutes of tight material. And when you get on stage, you can be loosey-goosey and play with the crowd and stuff like that. So like the last time we went to that basement and I did the 420 jokes and stuff like that, I was like, I'm going to throw in, a callback joke to that guy. I did this and then fall back on my material. And it was just so much fun the whole time. And it's one of the best feelings ever, And before I didn't have that off the cuff thing that I had. And when I first started comedy, all I had was the material. Now, if I start writing material like crazy, I'll have both of those weapons on my side, and it's going to be it. I feel like I've been telling Marcos, I said, if I really want to get fucking out of Bakersfield, and if I want to get anywhere close to going on the road by the time I hit my 5-year mark, or my 4-year mark, I need to know how to fine wine material. I got to make sure my material is so fucking tight that, and I have fucking 20 minutes of it, because quite frankly, I don't think I have 1 minute of super, super tight material. I just have 30 minutes of okay material.
Go and do a cold open in a packed show and know that every joke you say has to work, and then that'll be your tight. Because I cold opened for Craig Conant and I got 5 minutes, and I hit it like I was off at 5:04, like I was like on.
Yeah.
And that was one of those where I just fucking I extracted every punchline of my 10-minute set and just made it a 5 and just got to them really quickly. The jokes are kind of every single joke I said hit. None of them roared. None of them like.
Yeah, but you did your job.
Exactly,
dude. You
exactly.
did your fucking job.
That's why it was a win for me. 100%. Because every joke worked in that 5-minute set.
Yeah.
And I compressed a 10-minute set to 5, and I think that's important too. Like, dude, think about it. Like, see if you can do your 15 best punchlines in 5 minutes. And, But your joke, you're longer. You have longer bits, like made up stories and stuff. So.
You remind me of a show, and I forgot how good this fucking felt. I got there, and they were like, I think Daniel said, "Do you want to do a cold 5 for me?" And I went, "Yeah, that's fine." And it was for a show. I think it was that show. I think because you performed on it, and I was opening. Maybe not.
It wasn't that one.
But I had fucking this shirt on. You know what I mean? Because I was working door. And he was like, "Do you want to do 5 to start off?" And I went, "I'm going to just do punchline, 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 punchline." That's my plan. I don't. It's all one blur, dude.
Yeah, all right.
Dude, in high school, dude, all my friends would be like, "Oh, do you remember the Garces?" I'm like, I don't fucking remember any of them. It's all just one big blur. I don't know how y'all remember each one. I have terrible long-term memory. I remember all the important moments from each one, but I'm like, "Oh, do you remember when that happened?" They go, "Yeah, BCHS 2007." I'm like, "What the fuck?" I remember the moment, but how did you do that?
I have a great long-term memory, terrible short-term memory.
Mm-hmm.
So
I have I can remember the fine details of that moment. I can relive that moment and tell you every single detail.
So how did your set go then?
I can't tell you how it was though.
So how'd your set go?
That set was so good because I was just like, I'm going to hit him with super tight material, 5 minutes. I'm just going to warm him up. And I went up on stage, and this is how you know if you're there or not. This is the first time I said this joke. I said, "Guys, I was your door guy tonight. So if I did my job correctly, all the white people were over here and over." Nah, I'm just kidding. And then
I know what show that was. I know
immediately.
I know what show. I know.
And the second I said that, I'm like, I got a big laugh, and then I went straight into my material, and it was just all the way through, made him laugh at every single punchline. I'm like, I'm fucking out of here. You know what I mean? That's a cold open, baby.
Exactly.
Got off stage.
We're professionals like that. That's a fist bump right there. Because I think we both had really good cold opens. Because I think some people get into the habit of going into the cold open and they do crowd work for the cold open, or they're just like doing really long bits. It's like, no, dude, a cold open, it's fucking.
Yeah, you can't tell a story.
No, it's
that's
just
for sure.
Be funny, quick, get out. Like it's not. We don't want to know who you are. We shouldn't. All you are is a It's almost like watching a funny commercial before the real. The real shit starts.
Dude, it's gotta be. I went to the store yesterday. I've been going to stores for a while now, and blah blah blah. Like it's gotta be just.
Exactly.
It's gotta be. Here it is. Here's a joke. Done. I'm out of here.
It's almost gonna feel weird, and it's gonna take away from the setup and the delivery and the pace of everything. But the point is to get to the punchline quicker, because we don't want to sit there and listen. Longer for a setup, But I ate shit on Wednesday, that bad, like really bad. On Chris Flell's
should've
showcase.
seen Tumblr.
Oh well, let me finish and then we'll go to that. But I don't know. It sucks because I had 2 really good 10 to 12 minute sets, like in between this one. So I was like, I kind of went in with the same approach, and this crowd just didn't like it, And I just realized it was like a lot of older women, not a lot of men. And it was established at the top of the night that there was a table of 15 people, women, that were all teachers. And they were in the middle of the crowd, So there's tables everywhere, like kind of spread out. But it was noting when they weren't fucking with you, you know. And so it was just like, it was one of those where I should have been more present and just acknowledged that it wasn't going well. But I was just feeling bad that I was bombing, that I just kind of just let my energy get depleted, and it showed. And it sucks because I don't want to be like that. I should have just been like, this is not going well, man. Why don't you teachers like me? Like, do I have to fuck you? Like, or just some stupid shit to break that tension.
Yeah. I told Angel, and I think this is like, I don't think he got it from me. You probably got it from somebody else. You probably would not give me credit for this. But I think I told him at one point, I said, hey, man, no, I know I did. I'm remembering it perfectly. I said, hey, man, when you bomb, don't get all, bummed out. Because then the crowd will get bummed out with you. Okay, it's terrible. Like he'd bomb jokes and he'd be like, "Oh fuck," you know what I mean? On stage, I'm like, "Dog, why are you doing that? Do not do that unless you do it comedically. Then avoid showing the crowd that you're pissed up there. You know what I mean? Or
it's crazy that you say that.
Don't let
because
them know you get down on yourself.
all yesterday he was working out 7 minutes of jokes.
Dude, I was laughing.
I loved it
so fucking hard.
Me too.
And I didn't know you gave him 7 minutes.
I gave him
And
extra
kept going.
on purpose.
He got the 5 minute and 30-second joke, and he hit a joke, and he went, "Oh shit!" And I went, "You don't need to keep going," because I thought he was past the line already. And I got a laugh from the comics.
I heard
and I was like,
yeah.
"You don't need to keep doing it."
I heard that.
But he was like, he said one joke, and he got no laughter. Like he said a joke, nothing, and he goes, "That joke went exactly how I thought it would." And then go to the next one. And he keep doing that.
No, I know. This is what I hated. I hated when one did really well. He's like, "That joke sucked." I'm like, "You fucking."
and then he was eating shit, and he does this all as a bit because I thought he was reading jokes off his book, and I realized he's not. He's not reading jokes off his book. He's pretending to read jokes off his book, which is so crazy. And Angel, I'm sorry if this is exposing your comedy or something like that, but we're all new comics. But he would add a bunch of empty pages, and every time he'd say joke, he'd flip the page like he had one joke on one page.
Like he's a fucking conductor for the Bakersfield Symphony Orchestra. He's like,
and then I'm like, why is he flipping the page? And I wanted to say something on stage about it, but I don't think anybody would remember by then. But he would flip the page every single time, and then and this was I want to say in my opinion the biggest laugh of the night. Even though he ate shit in his set, he got one of the biggest laughs of the night because he went like this. And he pulled his notebook up and he goes, "I was playing Hangman on this page."
That was hilarious.
And it was like 16 Hangman games.
And he goes, "By myself."
He goes, "By myself." He sets it down, flips the page for another joke.
But that's like, is that eating? Because we're laughing. Is that eating shit? It's
well,
like, but I guess it's because we're comics. We're not the audience. Because we see the audience, they're not laughing. That's what we're judging it on. Like the people that are supposed to be laughing are not. But the people that are just your peers think it's hilarious. But that's fine. It's like you need to make sure that the audience thinks that's your goal now is to figure out how to make everyone laugh at that.
Well,
you know?
I'll tell you what, and this is like the compliment I got yesterday. The guy said it. Well, it didn't feel like.
Who was it?
It was
the dude that was on meth.
The mustache guy with his
David May
black girlfriend. No,
Oh,
David May's friend. That guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh,
wait, what was it? What did you say again?"
I felt good, you know. I said, "Yeah," but and he goes, "But I bombed," and like I was talking about the mic or something, and I go, "Yeah, but I bombed," and he goes, "It didn't feel like a bomb," and I went,
"Oh, dude,
oh fuck," and I'm like, "That's good," because with Angel, same here. Like, there's some comedians when they first start out, and you see him like the new comic that went up yesterday. It was like, ugh, you know, you could feel him dying up there. You could feel his fucking soul just falling underneath the stage, sort of. Yeah, but with Angel, you don't feel that anymore, and I hope he knows that. Like when he goes up on stage, it doesn't feel like he's bombing anymore. It just feels like his jokes aren't working. He goes up there, it feels more natural, and he's doing a ton of shit off the cuff, just random shit, goofy shit, all over the place.
That's where I'm like, dude, go up there and be funny, make us laugh, because ultimately that'll get the crowd on your side. And he has that great joke. He has that tuna can joke. I love that joke.
I hate that joke.
I love it because it's so fucking silly, you know, and I don't even know if it's accurate, you know, but
it's absolutely not.
Yeah, see, but tuna can day.
None of my jokes are accurate either.
Exactly.
I make up almost all my stories.
I think a lot of people should look at Angel and strive to be like him, because he's been working on the same shit, the same material,
and it's taken him
months, almost a year. Yeah, almost a year.
But he's in it.
But it was all those months, like I was not laughing, and I would kind of laugh here and there because he would write something silly, but now he's developing a personality and a character on stage
Yeah.
to go with the stand-up, which is like, I'm reading these notes, I'm pretending it's my first time, like
Yeah.
whatever. If right now it's working, I don't know if it'll be working in 2 years or not, but it's just fun to see people get better and excel, you know.
Yeah.
And he's already had one show. He got booked on one show, you know, and
Nice.
he's gone out of town and he's gone to Fresno and he goes and does shit. So I don't know. I've seen him as one of the guys that I don't know, the other open micers in the scene should look at him and be like, he's getting up a lot of, you know, and he does sound now on Sunday. So,
and I also want to give another shout out to, and your mic was a lot of fun yesterday. I'm really glad I went, even though I got stood up. David May.
Oh, I've already been shouting him out.
You can tell that, you know, when I started writing 7 hours when I first started, you can tell he's going through that phase right now. He comes up with the best material I've ever heard in my life. And he, you know, you can tell he's new, but oh my God, he had a joke about gum yesterday. And I'm like, that's one of the best fucking jokes I've heard in a while. I'm like, that's fucking creative as shit. Because it was something you do every day, but you don't, you know, draw attention to it. You know, it was one of those jokes, and I'm like, God damn, that's good.
He's really white guy arrogant like you.
Yeah,
like white guy, just like he's arrogant, he's
That's why I love
confident, big fucking stupid white New Balances, like wears Birkenstocks on stage, like, but he doesn't like. And here's when I noticed it. He went on stage and like John Hacker was guest hosting.
Yeah.
And he's a fucking 2-3 month comic. Like, and John Hacker was basically like, I'll buy everyone shots. I'll buy you a shot, sir, if you move up. John Hacker never bought the guy a shot. So David May immediately went on stage and was making a joke about like, hey, sir, you know he didn't buy you that shot. And like calling back to and calling this fucking kind of an OG of Bakersfield comedy, like these like older cats, you know, doing comedy over 8 years. His new open micer makes a joke out of it and gets everyone laughing, and then on his side, it's like, I knew that immediately. I was like, oh, this dude's funny.
Yeah.
And ever since then, like, he'll go and like, yesterday he made fun of me, like, and I'm like, and he's already earned that because he's funny.
Yeah.
And I don't care because he's funny, you know. And did you see when Mad Cat went up and tried to roast?
Oh my God.
Von Anthony?
Me and Eddie were making a joke in the back.
Did you see it though? Like when he went up?
And Mad Cat, we're not flaming you. We're flaming this one joke. Okay,
yeah,
if
the
you're
joke.
watching
Yeah,
this.
because even you bailed on it, Mad Cat. Like,
you went up. Okay, and that's the funny part.
That's
okay?
what I laughed at the bail. You bailed like a bitch. Like you should have just said it, dog.
So he goes, Eddie. He says a joke. He's starting to roast, and he's like, "Was it about you?"
No, it was about the guy that had gone up, Von Anthony.
Von Anthony, and Von Anthony was a new comic, and he went up there and he ate shit. So he's like, if you bum, never mind. And then like you stopped the roast right there and then and just went into material and went, what? And then
he didn't say. What did he say?
I don't remember what he said.
He said he literally was just like, your face looks like. No, I'm not gonna. Like he's like,
but he said because we all watched you bomb and your face looks like, because I remember he said that. He said something about that. He go, we all watched you bomb and your face looks like. Never mind.
Yeah.
And then Eddie was standing right next to me, and Eddie goes, I've never seen Mad Cat roast. And I went, I think he realized that in the middle of the roast. I think that's what went through his head right there. He was like, in your face, wait, I don't do this shit. And he just went into another joke.
No, dude, yesterday's mic was fun. That was one of the parts of it. Fucking Guile Mosier. That's David May's friend.
Yeah.
So he's a comic from
that guy was pretty good.
Yeah, you could tell he's good, but he didn't have a great set.
No.
And that's how I feel when I go out of town and I'm just like trying to work, but the crowd doesn't fuck with me, you know?
Oh, dude. And I don't do that when I go out of town anymore. When I go to Fresno or the beach or something like that, like when we did that show and I was playing with the merge, I know now that if I go out of town, I'm thinking they haven't heard this material. I'm going to be fresh as a robot.
Exactly.
Just recite them like a robot.
Oh,
it never
right.
fucking works. It never does. It never will. The only way you're going to get the crowd on your side is that if it's a show, it's different. If the show is different, you can just start doing material. But if it's an open mic and you're going out of town, you have to feel like you're there before, you know? You got to just like be natural, start talking to them, fuck around, because then you stand out immediately.
Because the minute you're like, oh, how do you pronounce the name of this place? You're like, you set yourself, you fuck yourself. Oh, and that's, I fucking went to Paso Robles, ate shit for 23 minutes.
I just edited that podcast and I rewatched it over and over again. I'm like, that's funny. You went, ate shit.
I hated it, dude, because I was like, how do you guys say this? And this chick in the audience was like, no, not this again. And I was like, oh, fuck. Yeah. And that immediately, lesson in comedy. From now on, do not make a joke about the name of the city. Just don't. Or just make something original. Like, I don't know. After shit, dude, it's coming.
I don't have the same experience, though, which is a little weird. I went to, I did that show for Trent Babb, and it was in Tulare, and in where was
Hanford.
it? Hanford. It was in Hanford. And in Hanford, they have this super, super fucking beautiful place in the middle. And then you go 3 blocks down, and it's like all abandoned buildings with like weird porches and shit. Like, when's the last time you saw a store with a porch? You know what I mean? And then I just flamed that little block that they had there and stuff. And it went really well. I flamed the fact that they had all these cats and stuff like that. I said that there was a cat back there and they were like gang affiliated, and I went, I don't know about it, but I saw a cat come up to me and he was like, and I started doing this big cat act out, and I was like doing that and shit. But it was just like, it was things that I was making fun of their city. Maybe that's what that's where you miss
it. Well, it's like a fine line. It's a fine line. Yeah. It's a fine line, because people come to Bakersfield like, you guys fucking smell fucking meth here, and if you don't say it right, the crowd will hate you quick. And but some people get them, you know. Some people they they're oh, it's coming.
I've been reading a book lately, Running the Light by Sam Talent.
Okay. Just like still,
it was just a fart.
Yeah, I'm still farting.
Was it hot?
It's hot. It's getting warmer.
It's hot,
you know, it's getting warmer.
That's how you know something's just about to come out of the microwave.
Yeah, dude.
It's hot.
When I used to have to shit, you know how when you're like you feel like you gotta go, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's gone. Like, you ever have that feeling, and then it's just like it's just gone.
Yeah,
I always used to say as a kid that my shit went to the store. Like my literally, like, the poop went into the car and was like, all right, I'll go to the store, I'll be right back.
Like one of the piggies, okay?
Yeah, like, is that piggy went to the market?
Wait, no, finish your thought, because I still don't get where you're going.
No, I'm not. That's what I'm saying. It's like,
you just say my shit went to the store.
Yeah, and then when you feel like you get to go again, you're like, oh shit, the shit came back from the store. It's like, you see what I mean?
He's back now. He came back with the
milk. Yeah, he came back with the milk. But right now I'm like, okay.
He bought a few cigarettes. It's getting hot down there.
No, right now, no, he's still out. He's still out, and I think he's gonna be out for another 15 minutes. So we're good.
Okay,
like, he went to run errands. So where's yours at?
I tell you what, mine is fall asleep on the back door right now. Just he's going like this to the fucking door handle.
He's scraping. He's
like, I've been in this house for hours.
Let me out!
Get the fuck out of here! He's trying to go through the dog door. He's like, fuck.
Is that shit out of your nose? You just see a poop come out of your nostrils.
I think it's got to be fast too, because maybe it's that when you said that joke about the city, it's very common. It's like a very common thing to do. But I think usually people love it when you make fun of their city, though. I think that's just that one experience, because I've seen it when I hate it. When I do shows in Tehachapi. There was this guy roasting us, and I'm like, you guys have one of the last Radio Shacks that ever exists. And I'm like, you guys still wear flannels back here? And he goes, you guys have a train. You guys probably say the N-word. And he was just killing, just the whole time making fun of us, like this poor old city. A super funny one from this book I read, Running the Light by Sam Talent. He said the comic had gone to a place called, I'm going to call it Onomatopoeia or something like that. It was just some weird fucking city, and the guy went up there, and he said, I heard when you get pulled over, determine whether you have a DUI or not, they have you say Onomatopoeia. They have you say the name of the city, And just like that was super creative. Like I'm like reading the book, it's like, oh, these are just fucking good, you know, just going through all and reading all the jokes.
Brilliant. That's like, and the more we go on the road, because we're gonna have an opportunity this Thursday, you know, because we're all gonna be us three are gonna be going to Templeton to go do a show at a wine bar.
Bad neighbor. Am I opening? I'm guessing.
I don't know. I have no idea.
You're just going out on a whim.
There's 4 comics on the lineup. I don't know.
Oh, but Trent is setting it up, right?
No, it's not. It's the dude that's over there.
Oh, but Trent is on it. He's the host.
He's the headliner. But this dude.
Trent's the headliner?
Yeah.
We might all have to feature. I mean, what are we doing here?
It'll be fun. I'm at the shit. What do you think?
No, I say you just keep going.
Because I'm at the point now where I can't focus. And I don't want to.
I think that's a good area to be.
Okay. They quit trying to talk. Like, let's. Can we live in the moment of we have to shit right now? Because I don't want to have to be talking comedy now. Now I'm over.
Dude, I don't know if you get this feeling, but when I feel like I'm holding my shit, my legs expand a little bit, like because I'm just holding so much shit in my body.
That's how I feel when I'm coming. I just stretch out like this.
Dude, who doesn't do that when they come?
Oh, really?
Yeah. I go. usually when I'm watching porns.
Got a blast.
Yeah.
Ah, my leg.
If it's like a POV and a guy's getting head, the second I know when he's coming because I see his feet go over the chick's head. The worst thing is, and I'm not even kidding, this turns me off immediately, is when I see a guy like crinkle his toes, and I'm like, but dude, get him out of the
looking
fucking
at the
scene,
toes,
dude.
dog. All I know is anytime I'm seeing
Get him out of there.
Oh fuck my back. I just hurt my back leaning real quick.
Fuck. Come on, get back in frame.
I can't.
There you go.
Oh my god.
There you go. Keep it coming.
No. Yeah. I'm excited for Thursday though. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna be in Templeton. 15C wine bar.
On the road action.
Yeah, a little on the road. And it's the first time me, you, and Marcos get a show together.
Oh yeah.
And
I mean, we've done it before in Fresno, but like
all in the same lineup?
Yeah. Remember when we did that huge Fresno show and Marcos was the feature? Or was he the headliner? Marcos the headliner?
I think he just went last. Yeah, he was the headliner, I guess. But yeah, you're right. But I didn't roll with you guys.
And you know what happened that show?
What happened?
Oh, it was a slaughterhouse.
We did really good, huh?
God.
We did really good.
Man, that show was so crazy. Us back to back. It was so fucking disgusting.
Was it me and you back to back?
It was, they had Fresno comics in between us, right? But it was you and then a Fresno comic, then me, and then a Fresno comic, then Marcos. On top. It was like,
and even before that, Bobby and
shit.
Anthony did really great too.
Yeah,
I was
Anthony
surprised.
and Bobby did really well too. And I never seen Bobby like I've seen him like do good, but that was like really good. The way he was just like, he feels like a fucking natural up there, just walking back and forth.
No,
and
Bobby,
shit, dude. And I'm like, damn, dude.
I don't know. I love Bobby. I love because I've seen actually. We went to the fourth wall and just his cadence. Like there's some times where he's fucking cooking. You know, he's fucking cooking.
Dude, he cooks. Sometimes.
But I've seen Bobby when he's fucking doing more than 10. Like Bobby like. His cadence, like almost he gets intimidated with himself, you know. He does this thing to her like he's like, you guys having a good time? And then he claps and then he does his closing joke and I'm like, come on, dude, like just fucking where's that fucking, because he has this like swagger almost like when he's doing new material. And then when he goes and does an old bit, it kind of gets like robotic and I'm like, dude, just fucking tell him to fuck 12 Megan Hall, you know, like
yeah, what
like
I went to fourth wall with him. Fourth wall with him.
Were we all there together for that?
No, it was me and Bobby went down because we had to.
Maybe it's new material Bobby, because new material Bobby's very like fucking like. I'm telling
a joke yesterday that was so good about the mattresses and the curtains, dude.
Oh my god, that joke was so. But
it's a great joke.
100%. That one.
That's new material.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And maybe that's everyone. I mean, we're all guilty of it. I feel like
no. And I think we do a good thing when we bully each other out of jokes sometimes. Like Bobby, when he had he used to take, he had a joke about when he used to take his daughter to a vibrator dildo store. And everybody saw.
You took your daughter to get a dildo.
Everybody saw the punchline coming.
Yeah,
He'd go. She got a small one. She goes, no, this is too small. And then I give her a big one, and she was like, no, this is too big. And then I give her a medium one, and she goes, this one's just right. And then he'd be like, bitch, what is this, Goldilocks, mommy? And the
Goldilocks and the 3 dicks?
And the 3 dicks? And they're like, we saw that coming. I'm not gonna lie, dog. Like, that's right. It was creative, but I'm like, he can do better. And he is doing better. And now he's talking about like real trap shit. You know what I mean? Because that's Bobby's thing. Trap shit, dude. And
I think now he's we're all learning how to write jokes. In terms of like, because before we would just go talk about something and try to make it funny, but now we kind of know where the formula is.
And you know how fun that is?
Exactly.
Seeing everybody
He went
get
up
better.
there yesterday and did that joke about fucking your dick is so good that it doesn't. Girls don't care that you have like a blanket on the sheet covering the windows, or that your bed is on the floor. And then he did another one, and it was 3 things, and it was just the rule of 3, and it was just a good joke. And I'm like, fuck, dude, like. And then the same thing.
Something about it is like, why my bed sheets are curtains, or my curtains are bed sheets, or something like that. And
Boom.
it was just like, no, that's some trap shit.
And the formula was there. Angel had it. David Mays got it. Like, even the way like Marcos has this fucking the fucking what's his the
order what you want.
That joke. You said it the other day. You gave great compliments about it. Like, that's just such a complete joke. And every time he does it, it gets better, and he's adding new things to it that's funnier. And everyone's getting better, dude. We're just 2 years into this shit.
Since Marcos is somebody you know, let's be honest about this one. It's taken him way too fucking long, Marcos. Okay, you've been saying that joke since I started comedy. Okay, about time it gets fucking tightened up. You know what I mean? Because that joke is fucking forever ago. He's added so much shit, but the way he said it 3 days ago, I'm like, holy shit, that's tight. You know, and when I see Marcos do material, I get super excited. Because Marcos rarely does material.
He definitely had set of the night last Thursday.
Oh, yeah. He fucking... I mean, that's debatable, but... No, I'm kidding.
No, he had a really good set.
No, he had such a good set. And
I had to follow him, and I feel like I couldn't because I wanted to do new material, and I felt that pressure of, like, do I just try to wow him? And then I ended up just doing mid as fuck, you know. But you guys did... Like, because I had to follow Julian... Then Marcos, then you. No, you weren't even there. You had went up early, huh?
Let's do an experiment. You go ahead and take a shit, and I'll go ahead and talk to myself for a little bit, and then we'll trade off and do the same exact thing. Because I'm feeling hotter than hot right now. But the second you get up, I remember you wearing jorts. Why are you wearing jorts, dude? You don't need to use the restroom anymore?
I do, but I'd rather just end it.
I remember 6 months in, I told myself, I said, we used to get at least 70 people every single Thursday for an open mic, which is unheard of numbers for an open mic. Like, I'm realizing LA is one of the biggest places for comedy in the world, you know? LA is one of the biggest places. New York, Florida, and Austin. Biggest areas. And I'm hearing stories from all these other podcasts that even the open mics is like, yeah, just fucking 11 people, 9 people, 8 people. You know what I mean? They all be saying that, you know? Because that's what an open mic is. We used to get 78 people each open mic.
Well, yeah, that's because there weren't any shows in the weekends.
Fucking loaded,
Yeah,
dude.
but there weren't any shows in the weekends, and now there's shows in the weekends, so there's not people in the open mics.
But I think that crowd's slowly coming back, and it's going to keep coming back. And I remember 6 months in, I said, I am so fucking excited for the moment that all of us are like 5-year, 4-year comics, and when we do open mics, it's a slaughter show. You know what I mean? And it's just us all up there because we're getting to that. We're inching to that point. Last Thursday, we had 11 people, and we fucking walked them, dude.
Yeah.
We, all of us. You, me, Marcos, David. Who else had really good performance? Andrew Boyson, I think. Just really fucking good. Everyone is just knocking it out of the park. And think about that, but in 3 more years, man, we're going to have open mics, and the open mic lineups are going to be really fucking
Yeah, it's gonna be
good.
like those. Damn, that dude's in the lineup, or like
yeah. You'd be like, oh shit, he's gonna be there tonight.
because pretty soon you're gonna start seeing less and less of us because we're gonna be traveling and doing open mic, so we're gonna be there less.
But we're still gonna be at the Well Comedy Club the most.
Yeah, of
You know
course.
what I mean? Even if we go on the road, we're gonna run out of money fast because I know that shit takes a while, And we're
We'll be going to do 1 or 2 spots, and then we'll come back.
right.
You know?
And by the time we get to a 5-year comic, even if we go around the country, we're still coming back to the Well. To say that hypothetically, if that happened, and every single time we come back to the Well, and it's a Thursday night, and we all do an open mic, it's gonna be fucking disgusting, and we're gonna inspire all these other comics to fucking join us and stuff. And I saw a little bit of a glimpse of it last Thursday, and I got so excited going home because I'm like, dude, when we're all 5-year comics, we're gonna have that 75 people crowd again at our Thursday open mic. You know what I'm saying? Because we only allow 15 people on the lineup. Eventually, we're just gonna have 15 good comics.
Yeah.
And we were all shit comics about 8 months ago, We would eat shit probably 70% of the time we went up at those open mics, and now it's only like we're cutting it down to 40%, We only bomb like every other open mic. I think it's going to be fucking disgusting in a few years.
Yeah. On that note, I gotta go.
Okay.
Yeah. I gotta shit.
Okay.
We're done.
Okay.
All right. Any last words?
I don't want to say any last words, no.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
We're about to cause a ruckus with the unit.
I got beat up by a special ed.
Hold on, bitch.
Hey, tell me if this counts as bullying.
Even like in a silly goose time.
I'm pretty cool, I think. He calls me Zaddy.
Welcome to the Bad Neighbor Podcast.